Once again, excited to see what they have in store for us as we head into Split. And this is a bit of a newer introduction into the competitive map pool. It's not one we are as familiar with, at least over the course of the last year, but that's kind of the fun of things, as we continuously rotate around that map pool, keep the players on their toes, and ensure that the best Brawl Stars players around, the most adaptable ones, the ones that have the best understanding of this game's dynamics, are the ones who end up on top.
Yeah, going to Split's a really fun one here. It's always a little extra dynamic when you've got two hot zone points here. Kicking things off with a Stu, a very aggressive brawler, one that can go for the wall break or the speed zone, depending on what their opposition plays here. No Griff, no Gray, no Sprout. On the other side, an additional Poco, Van as well. Very interesting stuff. No Colonel Ruffs either, so no bounce shot there. I think some really interesting stuff. I don't think too often people are going to be used to seeing Poco and Sprout in the ban stage, but this is one where these players are taking their stance. They don't want to face this, and now they're going to be responding with a Spike. Life plant opportunity into a brawler that can really only focus one thing at a time, which is why Spike is oftentimes so good into Stu. We'll see what they end up pairing this with here. From both sides, though, very understandable and somewhat consistent on this map for picks.
And definitely understandable on my part too. Reject with the early Stu pick is a little risky to me if you ask me, simply because, yeah, you're able to find a lot of utility from breaking open some of those walls, but Stu is pretty straightforward to counter. If you ask the North American in me, I am 100% North American, so I guess it's all of me, is you get any kind of spawnables out here. It could be the Tara Shades, it could be even, you know, the Mr. P ding over there on the right lane or the left, whichever you choose, as long as you're getting some cannon fodder for Levy to be tripped up on. Love the Squeak selection as well, going to be able to shove things off. Still going to have some trouble versus Willow, I believe.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. In terms of throwers, Willow is certainly somebody newer to the meta, of course, but we've seen her here and there. It's mostly on maps like Field Goal, but now all of a sudden, you know, we're going to get to see her appear on Split. She's going to be faced off against Shelly, who's a shotgun brawler, very aggressive, high damage. We saw the power that Shelly can hold into really good opponents for her, into good counters, and certainly Willow is somebody with light HP that Shelly can shine against, but we'll have to see how it works with all these walls in play here too. Curious to see how the wall break's going to go down for either of these sides, as it's really Stu with that only option, and then of course a Shelly super. So B going to be their choice to respond to this. Very interesting compositions. I don't feel like either of these are ones that necessarily you would see on like a puzzle cover, right? I don't necessarily think they're naturally blending together. It kind of seems like everybody's just piecing it together bit by bit here and just trying to fit it all in. So to be honest with you, this is something that we're not used to seeing. No clear-cut roster options, but nonetheless, I'm excited. I think, like I said, Spike a good option. The Stu, we get the Squeak coming in here, the newness of Willow, and of course, I'm always down for a Shelly on the map. Let's get some shotgun blast going.
Now let's see what she gets up to as she moves over to the right side. We'll see Sunny Kama on that B. And this one had me thinking basically the same as you, Kenny, where I was like, now this is a good brawler, but I don't see how it fits with the rest. Typically we see B played with wall break brawlers, and maybe what they're trying to do is force Reject to have trouble with breaking open some of these walls. Minmi's still going to rush forward on the right side, completely rushing Sunny Kama down. Icy seriously pinched, but he's not even that much of a consideration. It's all about Shu and affording a Choppy some room on the left side. Well done by Reject. They've already won a couple of lanes so far. A takedown into Icy on the right side also keeps Levi alive. Minmi now trying to move over to the right side, playing that mid-roll heavily, but maybe stretching himself a bit thin.
What a great start here for Reject. They're able to hunker down on both sides here. Now Choppy, not even worried about the percentage points. He's just trying to stay aggressive, keep Shu on his back heel. Levi blasting his way down this left-hand side. Minmi skating up and down the map. Lots of kills going down for this red roster here as Reject continue to run away with the lead.
And Sunnyton, they just keep on filtering brawlers into mid, but they can't really accomplish much. Actually, a takedown from Shu on the left side. This does afford them a bit of room. It's not a complete capture on the left. Reject still are going to have to fight a little bit more to guarantee their victory here. It's only 3%. A Choppy might have enough. Nope, no. Had enough gas in the tank to make that work on the left side and walk right through, but if you get mind control to walk away, it doesn't work out in the end. Levy looking for that last bit of capture, but still 1% remains. This has got to be a win in the bag for Reject. They only have to walk onto this point, but Minmi doesn't have too much health. A Choppy Levi might be able to make up some room here. Mind controlled perhaps over to Minmi, walking away once again. It could be the Sunny comeback.
Oh, I was going to say they were side for them very early. That's the toughest part of it. They made it look easy. They can't give it to him that easily. So we're going to have to see Sunny 10 step it up here and not give up those kills on this right-hand side so early.
I want to focus down on Minmi especially because he simply rocketed up the right side. Who's farming those supers left, right, and center. Ooh, complete takedown. Icy and Sanikama making impact at the exact same moment to one-shot Stu. And now getting themselves some room on the right side. They got to be cautious about feeding that super to Levy. Here's the first super. Not devastating wall break. Minmi actually isn't able to get enough room to push through on the right. Choppy is also able to get some capture on that left side in spite of Shu gradually chipping him down. So far, so good for both teams. Reject really fighting for their lives in a lot of respects, especially on the right, where Icy and Sanikama have locked it down in vast discordance with what happened in the last game.
Love that gadget play coming in from Shu. What a way to avoid the squeak super, but the second go around couldn't quite get it done. A Choppy winning the left-hand side. Dual enemy looking for a wall break right. Shots being fired. A Choppy branching out as well, assisting against the enemy of Sunny 10. Icy though throwing up a few shots. A takedown there. Levi shotgun coming out. This time it's the sniper edition though, and be forced away for now though. Icy there to cover his teammate. A nice takedown. And in game number 2, it's going to be Sunny 10 walking ahead with a strong lead here, capturing their entire right-hand side early.
We already saw how effectively they were able to hunker down the left side. Levi might end up supering some of his teammates. Nope, not quite able to do that in the mind control form. No super available at that point when you're being mind controlled. Levy on the left side trying to get the takedown on Shu. Well done with the gadget. Minmi, though, powers right through as soon as it expires. And Sunny 10 still are in a winning position. Just 11% more to acquire on the left side. They don't have any wall breaks, so it could be difficult to deal with Levy. Sanikama gets a good pinch. Minmi also breaking open the wall, forced to move over to that right side. Could be a free kill for Sanikama. Not quite, but the percentage continues to tick up for Sunny 10.
Yep, they're down to their final 8% here, and Minmi finally capturing this left-hand side has only gotten them to 60%. Shu now on this side, super available, and Levi knows how this story ends. It's Sunny 10 responding after he won. That time, they could not do the same. Early takedowns paved the way for them to get a nice win, and this time, it's going to result in Reject making some changes.
Icy and Sanikama on the right side basically made this impossible to traverse area on the right. As long as they were able to deny the supers to Levy, there was no way for Reject to push through, but Levy now has cleared things out. There's no preliminary control. He already farms at that first super, and that basically negates a lot of the power that Sunny 10 had in that last game. There's not going to be any corridor that they can fire down because Levy can simply tear it up. There's the last clay pigeons as well. Minmi might fall on the left side, not able to get that super back. Things are wide open for Shu to start taking control. Sanikama also with a good snipe on the right. Choppy could get taken down. 603 health remaining on Sanikama. He was just one hit, but Choppy wasn't able to connect. He escaped with his life and no connection on a Sanikama. Reject still fighting for their lives on the right side, but IC comes out on top.
Shu with a nice dodge there as well, actually survives and now has a super in hand too. Unfortunately missing that, but does avoid all the shots coming in from Shelly. Now in hot pursuit, Minmi, Levi trying to move up this left-hand side of Choppy, successfully doing so on the right. And now both sides being touched down on. It's going to be 80% in climbing here for Reject, moments away from hitting that 100 marker if they can just hold on to the left.
2 hot zones, 2 points of interest. A furious fight on both sides. Shu with yet another gadget on the left side. Levi starts to clear things up, but the stick around is enough to shut things down. And Choppy on the right side still seeks to maintain control. Sanikama is having a real rough time fighting for this one, but a lane rotation from Shu might be enough to send a Choppy backwards. Reject are just inches away from claiming the victory, though, as the percentage continues to tick up. They have to be defended on the left side. Well done. 2 kills from Sunny 10 on the left. But still, the play is on the right. How do you attack one zone and defend the other effectively? Sunny 10 are going to have to do exactly that, but it might be impossible. A big rush in from Minmi. He's untouchable, it seems, the last percentage point. And Reject clutch up the... See, they were able to play the response game to Reject. They were able to download their opponent after one game, but you have to make these adaptations on the fly to get the real leg up on your opponent in the best-of-3 format.
That's right, and I think that just shows how long Reject have been at this game. They've shown it time and time again throughout these monthly finals, all very talented players as well. Now we're moving it along to Brawl Ball, where Poco leading man of the marching band, going to be the first overall pick. That's very interesting stuff. I'm not used to seeing Poco kind of be this first overall pick here already. I do see the bands come through, though. We see some pretty normal ones on this left-hand side. On the right, it's going to be a Nita selection, and of course, their band's pretty standard as well. Very interesting stuff to see Nita picked this early. I think Nita is somebody that we have to take a little more seriously here, especially in the last couple months or so. She's definitely been a stronger option, especially with the emergence of some of these other brawlers like Shelly. Nita can be a great option, and Bruce the Bear, easily my favorite fourth man on the field.
Exactly what was on the tip of my tongue. It's got to be the Shelly and Nita interaction. This is a very viable next pick for Reject, but they could also simply decide, nah, we don't want to play Shelly, and they don't get to play it either. Here's the Shelly selection from Reject, and this is sort of the you know, definitely good drafting, and also the drafting that we have observed in the past, continuing on into the present. I want to remark on the Poco, though, something that I've heard about, at least in my conversations with Wiggly Spoo, who knows a lot about this region. It is, of course, his home region, that in East Asia, they focus a lot on what like the 3v3 matchups, the 2v2 matchups look like, not just those lanes, which is the typical dynamic, the sort of approach used to understand the game in the West. And here's the Ashe to follow, actually. I like this. I like this combo. I want to see what Reject are going to be able to do into it. I think Nita is definitely going to be an effective way to farm a lot of supers off of Shu, but still, more brawlers will be thrown into the mix to shake things up.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. A lot of the times when we're up here analyzing, we're talking about those one-on-one situations, but it's a team game. There's 3 brawlers on each side, so Poco plus Ashe, certainly stronger than Ashe by himself. I am still nervous, though, for this blue side. Nita, a great option into Ashe for cycling supers. Shelly, that shotgun blast does really well into Ashe, and obviously the super can pierce through multiple enemies. They're going to pair this with Leon. Again, somebody we've seen a lot more than I kind of expected this weekend so far here, but nonetheless, Lollipop Drop, Invisible, can get really aggressive against the enemy when up close, but Shelly can kind of meet him up close, and that's where Ashe's strength and Leon's strength lie, except Shelly traditionally wins that one-on-one matchup. But like you said, there's heals that come through from Poco. There's a lot more to it than just that, but Tara was the one I was looking out for. It is so tough right now to run tanks when Shelly, Tara, in this region, especially Ims, show up all the time. We even see Ims and B out. There's still 2 brawlers available that are perfect counters in the tanks. Tara, somebody that shows up all the time right now in East Asia. This is a region especially that I expect to play this now recently. I'll call it a buff kind of brawler, a little mix and matching there and some of the things that they did in balance changes, but nonetheless, she's clearly in a stronger state than she was. I expect a lot of Tara this weekend, especially when we see it against these tankier options, and you mentioned it earlier on the broadcast, one of the strongest supers in the game, paired with the Shelly, paired with great matchups. I'm loving what Reject are putting down right now.
Dude, and this one gets me a little bit excited because I wonder if we see the gadget from Tara that allows her to see inside bushes, given that there's so much piercing damage on the opposing side. Well, it's not going to serve them much use now because they're getting completely rushed down. Levi falls, and Achapi is the last man standing. Great clip of that corner from IC, an easy walk in, and Sunny 10 are steamrolling their opponents, but Reject have found some time to charge up some supers. One in particular, Minmi Achapi, now has a super as well. This could be a big play on the opposing side. They gotta get these enemies grouped up, and Sunny 10 have to know, no, a whiffed super, unfortunate for Reject, and this is the opportunity for Sunny to push forward.
Both of these teams have a lot of firepower. They can make quick plays happen, and now a double takedown there. Menmi, opportunity to go for this ball, kicks it over the right-hand side. Levi now shoots it through. Oh, it was so close, but Shu stepped forward in the nick of time. What was seconds away from being a Reject response? Now they're going to have to do it all over again. This time, though, Achapi, I don't think, going to whiff this super. Sucking in Poco real quick. Levi walking it forward. 3 brawlers standing. Low HP, a quick dip in, and Menmi puts in the back of the net. 1-1 overall, but it got scary there for a moment.
A recovery for sure, but I'm definitely not letting them forget about that mistake just moments ago. Unfortunate, but still, 1 in the goal for Reject. Levi has that combo. It's the deadly one. A shot forward and a super, but Shu still able to receive that ball. Wasn't pushed back far enough, and this could actually be the kill shot. Sunny 10, they're gearing up for the final push in. Cautious not to feed these supers, especially Achapi, making sure to stay away from him. Levi also can deal a whole lot of damage. Here's the bear and the faux fur activated as it goes down mid. IC has to stay alive and healthy. Achapi now has the super. There's IC, take it down. Reject start to maneuver down the field. Shu has to push this ball somewhere away from the opponents, really anywhere. Sunny 10 are on the ropes.
This is going to be a tough spot as Mimi picks up the ball. A team wipe here, a shotgun blast from Shelly. And further, she's got a shotgun blast. It's a big, scary thing that when you get up close to, she'll punish you when she's hiding in that grass. It's all going to be about how they start here, who can pick up those early kills, take advantage, and go down to the enemy goal side.
Shelly's got the big bang, and Tara's got the black hole. What more can you ask for? A stellar performance so far from Reject. And now looking to catapult that into a set victory already. But Sunny 10 are providing a lot more resilience this time. They've also decided not to take the hyper-aggressive approach that they did in the very first game. It did earn them a goal right off the bat. This time left with a 0-0 scoreline to boot. Fofer on the right side could be a push-in. It's really tough for Poco to deal with. He doesn't have too much DPS. It's got to be Ash and Leon dealing with those. Here comes the pull. Sunny Kama taken down. An easy pass up to a chop. He could seal the deal. Shu still trying to stay in the way. No, take down. But he received the ball just in time. Another easy shot onto Icy. No, not quite. This could still be the kill shot with Levi closing in from the top with those back left boxes cleared open. It's a goal for Reject.
So many wall break opportunities as well, and a nice play there from a Choppy. He missed one, but he has not missed one since. Levi now being chased away. Shu with the finishing shot there as Bruce the Bear takes down the Lollipop. Super going down for Tara. And now the Pets coming in to assist, but nonetheless, it's still IC surviving a midfield fight. Now advantage for Sunny 10 as the Robotic Rats take the field, but Tara once again getting a nasty pull. A nice pickup here and Reject with an opportunity to respond with some offense of their own.
Here come all the shades on the right side. Sunnycom is easily able to wipe these out, and IC now pushes forward. Levi, an easy pass through as he was right on the Reject to go for some of the more powerful supers in the game, the ones that you can reliably farm off of opponents. Well done in the draft phase. I'm very, very impressed by what Reject were able to do there because they had the supreme outdraft. It's not that often that we see a draft that clear-cut. We'll see what they're able to make happen here on Dry Season as they look to close things out and add a final set to the scoreline.
Looks like no Leon this time. Tick, again, so frustrating on this map. Very understandable. They would want to eliminate that in the ban stage. On the other side, Carl, Max, Gray. Very interesting stuff going down, but a first pick overall Squeak. Again, you know, it's the second half of the year. New stuff, balance changes have gone down. Gus, somebody I was definitely more anticipating seeing before I saw Squeak be a first overall pick. It's a weird world we live in for Brawl Stars. They didn't go with a sharpshooter or a thrower first. They went with Squeak, and now we get Gus. I love Gus's state in the game right now. It's something that pro players are certainly admiring at this time. Again, HP, something super valuable. I mean, it's obviously how you stay alive and takes more shots for your opponent to kill you, but Gus just adds a quick little deployment of HP with every single super he has. Gus can go a long ways, and similar to what Colonel Russ was for a long time, can be such a great asset to your team. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but combined with an aggressive brawler, somebody like Stu, for example, gets an extra 3k or so HP to just dive in, do his thing, and then just walk out, leave, get yourself some wins.
Easy. Just don't get hit while you're at it, right? It's that
Amen.
simple. Yeah, exactly. We know everyone loves hearing that, but Reject on the opposing side, they made the decision to not pick up Gus. Let's also acknowledge that. Squeak we don't usually see until one of the last picks because he's pretty straightforward to counter. Now, Reject had been prudent about this. They've gotten rid of Carl, but Sunny 10 does have the last pick. If they decided to, they could maybe go for a Buzz or something like that. Reject have to be wise about this and decide on this final brawler. Cover all the bases possible. And also, how are they going to get that blue star fairly quickly is another big question. I see a lot of possibility for Reject to play defensively here, but on the opposing side, it might be a more aggressive approach. We'll see what Sunny 10 go for as the final pick. The ball is in their court, but Reject are undoubtedly in the driver's seat as they have 2 set victories already.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for Sunny 10 to come back. And as easy as we make it sound with, just add an extra 3k HP onto Stu, let him do his thing. Obviously, easier said than done. We get the privilege of just sitting back and calling out what we see. They have all the pressure on them. And with 5 seconds to go, they have a tough decision, right? They're really trying to make this comeback. Started here. Rock going to be the X factor that they're going to try and instigate into this set. He's somebody that's shown up for a long time. Obviously, these indestructible walls, he can't tear those down, but maybe going to be choosing his spots, could run the rocket laces like we saw earlier, but I just don't see that as much with more of an aggressive composition. They may be looking to kind of tear down the walls that they want, but who knows? A lot of opportunity here. So it's going to be Gus, Stu, and Brock for Sunny 10. I do like the other side too a lot, though. I think they've got Old Lobber in play. Bell, somebody that's just pretty consistent, and Squeak can get around those walls, really get some area control and denial against the enemy team. I don't know, pretty tough stuff. Either way, though, one set at a time for Sunny 10, and they're going to have to start here in set number 3.
I won't lie, I was thinking a bit about the rocket laces too. Orca, shout out to him for planting that idea in my head following SEA today. But Sunny 10, with that Brock, they're still able to fire through some of these walls. If one of those turrets is placed really close behind the wall, he'll be able to hit it. He also can outrange the Squeak if he so desires, but a lane switch would need to be possible. In fact, Reject are going to be the ones who go for that lane switch, more wall break on the right side. Not a whole lot for a Choppy to play around, but they do have the advantage for now, and as long as they're able to play on defense, they should be safe. But IC does have a super, and Sunny Kama could rush in once he has his own super. It's going to be tough for him to earn. Minmi can block it off quite easily with the use of his gadget. And really now we're looking at musical lanes. It's like musical chairs, but the matchups keep on switching up.
Yeah, and Sunny Kama just looking for any kind of advantage he can, but just can't find it. They all have the capabilities of keeping their distance, and Stu without a super is a lot more difficult to use here. He's going to have some perfect dodges, try and climb his way up, just look for something here. Otherwise, he's just going to be kind of your pretty average Joe. Now finally getting one, but that's all he's going to get for now. Levi even getting more aggressive in this spot here too. 1-2, not a ton of kills going down, but it seems like Reject are in a pretty good spot. Definitely
hurts to see Sunny Kama lose that super. He might be able to earn it back. There's still 30 seconds on the clock. IC slowed down, but not taken down. An activation of a gadget to weaken Levi, and he only surrenders a bit of positioning. Got to see some important supers out here. Sunny Kama especially needs to be careful of the nest egg as well as the clock begins to tick down. The 15 seconds appear on our screen. IC has the super. They got to make a play now. He's going to pop it on himself. Look for the kill on a Choppy, but he's low on health. Sunny Kama on the right side also trips that nest egg. 5 seconds left. A Choppy has to fall. They don't have positioning, or do they? 48 damage remaining, and Sunny 10 finish him off.
To get themselves a win. Timing is a big thing in Bounty. They were the last one to strike, and if you're the last one with a couple kills, sometimes that's really all you need to take a lead, and it wasn't super flashy on the scorecard or anything. A lot of back and forth each side, just trying to establish something, but at the end of the day, it's Sunny 10 surviving a little bit longer, now up 1-0 in our set number 3.
Much different game this time as Sunny Kama has that super. Oh, and now he's gone. Just like that. He was hanging quite high, and Sunny 10 are going to have to pay the price. 4 stars now earned for Reject as they pick up the second kill and a third. No, a fourth. A double kill with a Squeak super. That's not something you see every day. Sunny 10 had to be feeling the pressure. Now it is not a good feeling to die that way.
A lot of stars on the side of Reject right now, and it doesn't feel like Sunny 10 have any easy escape to move out of their spawn. There's a super from Sunny Kama, something we didn't see a lot of in game number 1. They're going to have to try and find a way to get some moves out of Stu here. Big super going down, but again, that shield can go so far to extending lives of your team and yourself. IC going to be staying alive here, but nonetheless, still a big deficit, or at least it was. 5-8 now. Shu stepping up when they need him most. And with 45 seconds to go, they're going to have to piece this together a few more times if they want to extend this to a 4th set.
Shu's trying to make a tear up the right-hand side, but Choppy is keeping him at bay. There's the kill onto IC, however. The fire from Old Lobber shut him down, and Sunny Kama meets a similar fate. Reject now leading confidently with not too much time remaining. They have plenty of room to back up. Minmi also is quite cautious about his star count too. Sunny Kama's going to make a big move. No payoff at all. Levi was completely out of range. 15 seconds remain. Sunny 10 have to commit now, but they don't really have any gas in the tank. They have no means to do so. They're still pushing forward nonetheless. 5 seconds remain. Sunny Kama and IC try to do something on the left side. So many avenues blocked off. A kill onto a Choppy and a return fire.
The dig deep. Find a way here, and again, Stu is somebody we got to keep our eyes on because he's that X factor on most compositions, and when Stu is getting shut down, well, your teammates losing out on a brawler. A lot of 2v3 situations it feels like here, especially when he doesn't have the range to keep up with some of these guys. So Shu, IC, Sunny Kama all gonna have to step it up here. Immediate teardown on that right-hand side as the blue star was fought over, claimed by Reject, and they will start game number 3 with the lead.
Well done so far by Rejects as they do have the lead. I want to point out that we see Levy and a Choppy going for mad combos on the right side. A little distracted on the left, though. Sunny Kama shut down. IC still trying to finish off that kill, but Levy equipped the right star power today. It looks like he survived and even helped a Choppy get the takedown onto IC. Return fire from Reject looking seriously formidable. Now they're switching up the duos. Levy and Minmi sticking together on the left side, trying to provide any resilience possible versus the super that IC has. Did he fire the super forward? I think he did.
Yeah, not super sure on that one, but nonetheless, not looking great right now. Thankfully, they have some incendiary shots to get through to that penny turret. But Levi backed up here in the top left-hand side of Choppy, trying to win the duel on the right. Sounding Kama waiting for the moment to strike, trying to slide through a few shots, but can't quite do so here. IC getting very aggressive, has the bubble available. Now Sani Kama moving forward, 63 HP is surviving for now, but a Choppy closing the gap here. Response from a Reject will own this 2-star lead for now. It's going to be a close call here as Sue gets a kill, and now just a simple blue star. The only difference here as we approach the countdown.
Reject really backed up against the edge. 15 seconds remain. Shu has a super. It could be devastating damage, firing over walls even. Could be coming now. Zoning in Levi on the right side. IC has to connect these shots. He tries, but he's not able to make contact. Levi has to be shut down. Here it comes. IC taken down. Shu follows, and Reject take the win. They're headed on to the grand finals.
They held on in the final moments, and Reject again a clear path to a grand finals. They have lost very little amount of games and sets here.